Numbers the other way, Green back to Kuminga. Here's the steal into the open floor. Kuminga, the windmill throwdown.
Yup, Jonathan Kuminga screams modern day star wing player. The way he moves in certain spurts gets you hyped on what he can become in the NBA. And that's why we need to break down his strengths and weaknesses to clear up any thoughts we have about him moving forward. But please, guys, if you enjoy this type of content, like, share, and subscribe for more. Make sure you check out the rest of the breakdowns that we're doing. And don't forget to check out my latest mock draft. I want to start off a little different this time and point out his bad habits, which could be seen as weaknesses. He speeds himself up when he doesn't need to. What does that mean though? It means rather than using a 6'8 frame with that 6'11 wingspan, he sometimes looks and plays like he's nowhere near his measurements due to the lack of silly turnovers and questionable shot selection. Not gonna make excuses for him, but being extremely young, only 18 right now, and already has film on himself against good competition in the G League is a positive for me at least. From the intel that I've gathered, he seems to be a student of the game, which is good because the things he did that I've mentioned are easy fixes by simply paying attention to the film. Taking quick mid-range shots or forcing shots in the post rather than running your offense is two things. The first one is not having the experience to know better, and second, in his head, he's probably thinking, I gotta make some plays. That way, the tape is better. That way, the perception of me is better, and my stock and my draft stock rises. And then he's going a million miles an hour, which then he forces himself. And then the fan, the GM, the scout has a different perception of him. That's all part of this process. What sucks is that it turned out negative and is now viewed as a weakness. But time and age are in his favor if he continues to take basketball seriously. You can't teach his size, physical abilities, and fluidity as a big wing player. You can only hope you are born with these blessings. Now, his inconsistent jump shot is a weakness to me. He definitely needs to put the work in to improve in that area. If the right shooting coach guides him, he can improve really quickly because his mechanics are solid. It's just the little things the normal eye can't catch that makes all the difference in a jumper going in or out. When you have another player with similar physical gifts guarding you, every movement, non-movement in your shot matters. This isn't high school anymore where you can get away with it by simply rising over someone. As much as I've praised his athleticism, I don't think it's amazing like LeBron James or Jalen Green. It's pretty good, but there are definitely levels to it. The way you compensate for that is having a consistent jump shot and a tight handle that creates space, which he showed flashes of having. Once again, most of his turnovers to me came from being sped up and not having the experience to make the correct reads. He showed many flashes of making the right pass or read in the half court. That's why I consider his weaknesses by many to be bad habits instead. Now, let me know if you agree or disagree with me on this. I want to hear what you think. Let's talk about his strengths. The kid is coachable and can create his own shot at his size. Plus, he's an underrated passer. He's not Cade Cunningham, but he can definitely make solid reads on the elbow or in transition. He gets to the free throw line at a high clip because he understands how to draw contact at such a young age. That's very important for a prospect who is projected to score 20 plus points a night during his career. He has a real nice spin move when he's posting someone up, which creates him the space to use his 6'8 frame and finish with either hand, which I like. I also think his step-through move is something that will allow him to score 6 points a game from. It shows his patience and good footwork in the post, all good characteristics of a good scorer. I do believe these one-on-one pre-draft workouts he's going to have with teams will really highlight his scoring ability and leave teams in awe. To me, he's in play for picks 2 through 5. His talent is tantalizing, but his shot will determine whether or not he goes as high as number 2, and also his defense is not as consistent as I would like for it to be. He definitely has some deficiencies in there, but again, with more experience and more film sessions, he's gonna be just fine. He has all the tools athletically to be a solid individual defender and team defender. You know, the thumbnail has a young Jeff Green or Paul George, who had a phenomenal game 5, by the way, in Utah last night, as a potential comparison for Kuminga, but I think Kuminga is a little bit like multiple players to me. He definitely has a little bit of both of these players, but I'm pretty sure whoever drafts him is hoping that he turns out to be as productive as Paul George. I believe he has the work ethic and love for the game to continue to improve his game and potentially be a great player one day. Let me know what you think of his game. Who does he remind you of? Who do you want him to get drafted by? If you enjoy this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe as we continue to grow. It helps us out a lot, and it'll help us out a lot in terms of putting out more content consistently like this and other type of avenues in the NBA world. On behalf of the entire Basketball Zone Cowbell King family, I thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next breakdown.